Critics' Choice Super Awards. Something was missing. We gotta talk about it. Let's go. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Klepcx FM, brought to you by WeAreCritics.com, the place where we talk movies, television, pop culture. And if you're into that kind of thing, make sure you hit that subscription and that notification bell so that you can be in tune and up to date with everything that I'm talking about here. So today we are going to recap and talk about last night's ceremony, the Critics' Choice Super Awards that went down on the CW last night. And I'm not gonna lie, I had a ton of fun watching it. Of course, they had to follow the old, the COVID guidelines and things of that nature, which kind of bummed me out because I like the live audience vibe. I love having surprise guests and surprise celebrity come through on these award shows because that's what makes them entertaining, right? Performances in that nature. But of course, because of the times that we're in, we had to get the best that we could through a virtual ceremony similar to what they did with the MTV movie and television awards, the Emmys, every last 10 ceremonies that we've had all year were pretty much under these conditions. But with that being said, I had a good time watching it because there were a lot of things that would be considered underdogs in this space that got a lot of nod, that got a lot of attention, and like Snowpiercer. I know The Boys is pretty popular, but you're not really going to see The Boys pop up on any of those more prestigious type of award shows. And even some animated shorts or animated films and cartoons that I've never even heard of were in this list. But it was an overall good event. My favorite director and writer, Kevin Smith, hosted it alongside the beautiful Danny Fernandez. They did a great job. They have awesome chemistry. The production was a nod to the whole sci-fi genre and the superhero genre. They had AI by the name of Bob talking and assisting with nominations and addressing and calling out the presenters and things like that. So that was kind of cool. It was kind of fun, kind of like a Jarvis Gideon type of voiceover in the background. And they played well with it. It was really, cheesy, comic booky, but fun. So I didn't have any problem with that there. A lot of good nods, a lot of great wins, people who deserved it, and a lot of surprise ones. I mean, you can't have an award show without there being some sort of snubs, right? Like snubs are they're expected when you watch an award show. Not everyone you expect to win is going to win, and not everyone you expect to be recognized is going to be recognized. But in saying that, there was a sense of an elephant in the room that I could not ignore. I noticed that throughout this entire event, there were only CW, DC, and a bunch of indie comic book fantasy nominations, and not one single Marvel Studios, Marvel Comics property was nominated, recognized, or even brought up, except for when Michael Coulter stepped to the plate and he was presenting. I forget what he was presenting for. He was presenting for something, and he mentioned that he was he working on Evil, but he had done superhero stuff such as Luke Cage in the past, and I think there was a Thanos joke in there somewhere by someone else when they were presenting for Best Villain. Now, even that shocked me because Best Villain, and I know that Marvel's always struggled with having really good, decent villains, but we all know that if there was ever a top-notch villain, Thanos would have at least been nominated. And like I said, not only was Thanos not brought up, Daredevil wasn't brought up, Punisher wasn't brought up, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. wasn't brought up, no Marvel properties whatsoever. This is the Critics' Choice Super Awards, which gives pays homage to superhero, sci-fi, fantasy, and anything in between that grabs its own fandom, and they made that very clear from the very beginning. So I was a little thrown by the fact that not one property from Marvel Studios was ever brought up. Like not even nodded, not even nothing. Everything was CWDC, and the only DC film, which is another shocker, the only DC film that was brought up was Birds of Prey. I don't know. I don't know. You guys tell me. You tell me what you think about that. Like, I mean, when we're talking about the best of the best, like this is the best of the best. Like the critics chose these. I don't know what critics, but when I look down my news feed, I see critics and outlets and everyone talking about the big guns. Even Snyder. The Snyder cut. Like nothing that you would have expected. The only great thing about this event was that it was putting shine on those lesser, I wouldn't even say lesser popular, because they have their fandom, like Snowpiercer, big following. But the things that you would have expected to get nod, nothing. Like there were some even some fantasy, type style movies like Palm Beach with Andy Samberg. That whole repeat day thing, like that got a nod. I don't know if it was like a time thing. Maybe they were just trying to cut, but there was some pretty old properties in there. Like The Flash got a nod. I'm pretty sure Arrow got a nod. Which is not even Supernatural got a nod, and that series is over with. It's done. It's not even happening. And it's been around forever. Like it's an old property that got a nod. So I'm just kind of confused on the rules of this thing and how it's going, because I know we haven't gotten much of Marvel anything in a while, or even I don't know. That was one of the elephants in the room that I could not ignore. I had fun watching it, and I would love to see this thing continue, and get an opportunity to be a live event, an award show, because I'm curious to see how it would turn out, because right now the geeks and the nerds and the blurs, we're kind of running things. So I think that a fandom award show would be cool and pretty necessary, even if like CW is a good place to put it, or even if you just put it online. I think that it would do well. Remember, YouTube had an award show at one point. It didn't last long, but they actually had one. But yeah, that's my recap. I mean, it was overall a decent show to watch. I had fun, because that's just the blurred in me, the nerd in me. Like I had a good time watching it, and being able to say, oh, I know that show. Oh, this person's gonna win. That person's gonna win. That's always a good time. But we could not ignore the fact that there were just certain things that should have been on the platform and should have got at least talked about. I don't even care if they lost. They should have been nominated. Like, what's going on with that? That's weird. So yeah, you guys let me know. Did you watch it? If you didn't watch it, let me know. If you want to see it, it is streaming now live on the CW app. I will leave the link below where you guys can check that out. I was going to stream it, but I was like, you know what? Nah, it's the first one. Let me watch it. Let me see what they're bringing to the table. And like I said, I pretty much enjoyed it. I could go for more. I think that this could be done right. Great choice in hosts this year. Who better? Like I said, Kevin Smith and Danny Fernandez did a phenomenal job, but they got to get the categories together, and maybe they should add anime in there, because if this is really going to be about fantasy, sci-fi, and superheroes and stuff like that, they need to really tap into the things you see at a Comic-Con and put that in an award show and let the people come. So my now would be better categories, broader categories, and bring in anime at least, and video games. Why not? Video games too. So yeah, guys, tell me what you thought. If you watched it, if you did not watch it, if you're gonna check it out, the link is below. And make sure you guys like, comment, share, and subscribe. Wake up, be passionate, create, repeat, and I will talk to you all later. Peace.